Hijacked houses. It's a scam that may be on the rise right here in the Bay Area. Foreclosed homes are the pawns, and the renters are the unsuspecting victims. NBC 11's Cheryl Hurd is live in Vallejo tonight, where one realtor wants to get the word out. Cheryl.
Well, the message is, if you plan to rent a home, know who your landlord is. There's a scam out there, Lisa, and this is how it works. They find an empty home, then they find out if it's a foreclosure. Then they rent it to you, even though they're not the landlord. They locate tenants on Craigslist or even a newspaper ad. Then they get to work.
Then they can go to the good-looking foreclosure home, remove the sign, have a locksmith, not a licensed local locksmith, but someone that knows the trade, change the locks.
Then they get the money.
They offer these for less than market rent, so they're very attractive to the tenant. They get the first and last month's rent and a deposit in cash if possible, and they're gone.
Brian McPherson has been in the real estate business for 31 years. He says he's seen this scam before. It happened to him 9 days ago. McPherson says this bank-owned property on Whitney Avenue in Vallejo was hijacked by a scammer and rented to a family who had no idea they were being ripped off.
I don't want to talk about it.
Okay.
I don't want to talk about it.
Okay, thank you. An uncomfortable situation for the victim and the neighbor next door.
The for sale sign was there, then it just disappeared, and I guess whoever it was just did some kind of different scam and got people to come by and rent the place out, and they lost a lot of money.
And one of the really frightening parts is they may have these people fill out an application where they give them their Social Security number too. So not only have they got their money, they've got their Social Security number, maybe some credit references.
Now, McPherson also says he has no idea how many victims are out there, but he does know that it will happen again. In Vallejo, Cheryl Hurd, NBC 11 News.
An old scam has apparently resurfaced, and neighborhoods hit hard by foreclosure are prime targets. Linda Yee is in Vallejo with how this scam works. Linda?
Well, Dana, the family who moved into this home and rented it thought they were dealing with a legitimate landlord. It turned out that case, and now they're out thousands of dollars and a place they call home. Neighbors say a family with children moved in within the last week, but the real estate agency said this house was not for rent. It was in foreclosure and vacant. The person who rented it to the family was probably a scam artist. The family would not talk, but the neighbors are horrified.
It's kind of mean. I mean, people do things like that and then get away with a lot of money, you know.
They're gone.
Yeah. You know, it's a victim of a scam, and that's not right at all.
It was during his weekly inspection of properties when Tip Realty agent Brian McPherson saw something suspicious.
There were lights on in the house.
The for sale sign was gone, the house was furnished, and his master key did not work.
Here we go again. Bad circumstances bring out bad people.
Tip Realty alone has listed about 125 foreclosures in Solano County, 5 times more than normal. Realtors believe Vallejo is ripe for the picking.
An unscrupulous party that begins to realize there's a tremendous number of vacant properties will scope out 3 or 4 really nice looking vacant properties. But before that, they put an ad in the paper, home for rent, very innocuous, no red flags. I understand they're in Craigslist also. So they get a tenant base, potential tenant base, before they do the lock changing and the sign pulling.
The Solano Association of Realtors has already sent out a warning. The con artist will get first and last month's rent in cash and is gone before the victims realize their rental agreement was phony.
It's frightening and it's shameful to see that people are so cruel and could do that to someone.
McPherson said he left a note with the family to contact him. He hasn't heard from them.
Absolutely, we'd like to help them. They don't deserve this. But with no contact, it's going to take its course.
And that course will be eviction next, although the realtor is hoping it won't come to that. In the meantime, he tells me that 70% of the homes for sale here in Vallejo alone are foreclosures. So in a market like this, Dana, it's really buyer beware. Do your homework. Go to the county clerk's office, the assessor's office. Make sure the landlord you're renting from really is the landlord.